from over there and locally, and I decided just take a look. And literally when I decided to take a look, I was thinking about all the things I would be doing in Miami over this couple of days to go back. But it turned into a series of conversations and interviews over 2.5 days, meeting 16 different leaders in the organization who were really interested in me. And even when I left there, it still took about 2 months for me to kind of really make up my mind as to whether or not this was going to be the next journey in my career, whether or not I'd just go back into consultancies, et cetera. But when I thought about it, they presented this economic model. I would have seen the journey. I would have seen the shift. There's been so many conversations over the years about the cruise industry. I was a part of that when I was at the Chamber of Commerce. And I considered the impact that the industry has. I considered the leadership position that this company has, and then the project. And I'm like, wow, we are gonna touch so many Bahamians in terms of ownership, right? The provision of equity. We're gonna touch dozens of businesses in terms of, the outsourcing of services, and then the commitment to our Bahamian management team. I'm like, okay, this is everything that we've been asking this industry to do for decades. Let's see. And I remember quite bluntly having, conversations with both CEOs, and I said, I want you to know, I am a Bahamian, and if there ever comes a time where there has to be a choice between country and company, you know where I'm always going to be. And they're like, wow, you're a guy. Let's make it happen. And they have kept their word, and I've kept mine. And
what does this role place you responsible for? You're responsible for all of the Royal Caribbean operations of the Bahamas.
Yeah. So there's, there's Coco Key. There's the various operations in Grand Bahama, inclusive of the shipyard. Obviously the vessels that come to the different destinations, the beach club that we are doing on Paradise Island, and more to come.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. And so we're building a team.
I was going to say, are you doing this by yourself?
No, we're building a team. You would see in some of the reports, for the beach club, and actually for the Bahamas as a group, we've added a director of environment and sustainability. We've got a harbor master. In a couple of months, we'll be adding a director of business integration. There are advertisements out there now for a communications manager, a community engagement manager, and beyond.
Back of myself.
Beyond those positions, the company, and we don't talk about it as much, but we have partnerships with the Chamber of Commerce, the Small Business Development Center, the Tourism Development Corporation, the LJM Maritime Academy, Junior Achievement, of course. Still chairman of Junior Achievement, so I took that one with me, and the list goes on and on and on. It's a very giving. The corporate social responsibility is really taken to heart at that particular level. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening. So we're building out this wonderful team as we expand the operations in the Bahamas.
Any concern about the competition in the market? There's Carnival, there's the MSC. Any concern about that space?
No, not from the perspective of Royal Caribbean. Obviously, competition is great. I think iron sharpens iron. The way that I look at it as a Bahamian is great. The destination is still the Bahamas, and so personally, I wish everybody well, because it ultimately benefits the country. But there's a clear understanding of who's number one.
I'll give you the final thoughts tonight. What can the country expect of Royal Caribbean going forward?
That we'll keep our commitments. Again, you go to the website, you'll see some environmental commitments that are listed there. You'll see some economic commitments that are listed there. You'll see a company, again, that has been committed to the Bahamas for over 50 years, over 30 million visitors, that is continuing to invest heavily into the Bahamas. And in return, I think we really should continue to focus on this partnership. This business model is something that we have not done before. I don't think anybody has. Maybe it can become a template. It can become a model, not just for the industry, but as you said earlier, all and sundry. So you know, continuing to look forward. I encourage persons who are listening to explore the opportunities. Again, there are dozens of business RFPs that are on this website right now. And then, of course, we continue to recruit.
All right. Philip Simon, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you, and congratulations.
Thank you, man.
All the best to you.
All right, man.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
That does it for the rundown tonight. Be sure to stay locked on the ZNS Network for the Bahamas tonight at 11. It's the final newscast in the country with the latest news and information with Royston Jones. He's right over there in the building getting ready for the 11 o'clock news. So all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night.
At Fort Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.
It's time for Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. It's Grand Bahama's best talk show, highlighting all of the positive things happening in Freeport. Look forward to our special guests each week that will tell you about events, activities, and initiatives that are making a remarkable impact on our community. You'll also hear from local business owners and get a heads up on deals and special promotions. It's time to Focus Forward.
Welcome back to Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward. We're so happy that you decided to join us this morning. My name is Alex Thompson. I'm the Promotions Director of the Downtown Freeport Business Association, and I am your host today. I am joined by Claudine Pinder, my co-host, and we're just here hanging out. How you doing this morning, Claudine?
I am great. So excited to be back on Focus Forward, hanging out with you guys. It's always a great experience. I'm looking forward to what this day is about. I'm very excited about the location. So let's do this.
Okay, so we are on location at Western Atlantic University School of Medicine. And of course, this could not be possible without the Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau, which sponsors the show and gives us an opportunity to share with you all of the positive insights that are happening here in the city of Freeport on the island of Grand Bahama. So we're going to introduce our guests. We also want to let you know that you want to stay tuned. We have some great information that we're going to share with you about wonderful events that's been going on this last week and what's coming up. So we're going to get right into it, because as my usual host would always say, we need to start because we got a lot of information to share. So this morning, on the set with us today, we have Dr. Laura Welke, the Campus Dean and Professor of Anatomical Sciences at WASM University. Good morning.
Good morning.
So
Pleasure
good
to be
have
here.
you.
We've been looking forward to this. Really exciting.
I'm just happy to be on set to see you guys and see this facility. All right, and she is joined by Miss Amanda Fowler, the 4th semester student here at WASM University. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you excited to be in Paradise studying?
Of course I am.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, so we just want to talk a little bit about Western Atlantic University School of Medicine. And Dr. Welke, I want to start with you. Listen, I usually have tons of questions and I have to reel myself in, so I wrote some stuff down and I want to get started with you. We want to make sure and find out some stuff. So one of the things we want to talk about this morning is what motivated the decision for Western Atlantic University School of Medicine to actually come into Grand Bahama?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Some of our founders had previous relationships here with the Freeport community, government, Port Authority, and so we thought this would be just a wonderful place to land. And of course, Freeport, there's so many development opportunities and things that make it great. Also, I mean, proximity to the United States, to Canada, even Europe. We didn't want to be, you know, deep in the Caribbean. We wanted to be here, and this was really the idyllic and the ideal place to go. So much opportunity, just so much. So.
Right. Okay. So now that you're here, you're on the island, phenomenal facility that you have here. What are some of your primary goals and objectives for the university?
Yeah, so you mentioned our facility. We have about a 40,000 square foot campus that we're in right now. It's really exciting that you all came here today. And so really our main goal and objective right now is that we are training students to become successful, compassionate, caring physicians. So we offer the medical degree, and that's our main objective right now. We're 3 years young, so we're really working towards that. Yeah. So that's what's going on here.
I mean, this is a big investment that they've put. This is about $2 million of investment here in this facility.
Oh my goodness, it's more like 25 million that we've put in, and I can tell you that this campus, or the building that we're in right now, was built in 2021. It took them 11 months, all Bahamian labor, which we're really, really proud of. Right. We really wanted to open those doors January 2022, and we were successful with that. We were putting together furniture and moving things around over Christmas, but we did it, and here we are, and it's already 2025, and we couldn't be prouder. So.
Okay, so Amanda, I just want to pop over here with you a little bit. Just quick, you know, how has it been for you? I mean, what made you decide I want to come to the Bahamas and go to medical school?
So originally, I am from the Bahamas, so
okay.
It just feels, you know, just at home to be at home and studying medicine in the Bahamas. So I made this decision to come back home because I originally started in the United States with my first degree, and I wanted to make that transition back home, and WASM was an amazing opportunity for me to come back home and also to be able to enjoy another island. I am originally from New Providence, so coming to Grand Bahama was the best decision for me.
All right, well, I'm pretty sure coming to Grand Bahama, New Providence, was it a little bit of a shock with the little bit of traffic?
It was a great shock. It was a big change, a big transition, but it was a good one in a way that I didn't have to worry about traffic and congestion to get to school every day.
Awesome. So Dr. Walkley, back over to you. Yeah. I know that it's a medical school, but are there tailored courses for students? Are they only allowed to become physicians? Are there any other disciplines involved within that?
Sure. Right now, WASM is just totally focused on training students towards the MD. So who knows what will happen in 10 years or 15 years. But right now, it's our sole focus, and we really want to make sure that we focus on that for quality and educational purposes for them.
Okay, so this past weekend there was a health fair, and I attended the health fair, and I saw WASM had a big display out there with students and items and things, and I know the facilitators of that health fair said they couldn't have done it without your team being there. I mean, what are some other collaborations and things that WASM is doing in this community?
Yeah, I'll start, and I'm sure Amanda can follow me. But 100%. We've made strong partnerships with Doctors Hospital, like the Kabbalah Clinic in 8 Mile Rock, the Bahamas Resilience Center. Right. You were at the Kidney Center. We also partner with the Mammogram Access Program, and so our students need to go and do community service learning projects, and so they love to volunteer, and they're out there writing reflections on giving back in the community. Yeah, do you want to comment?
Of course. So actually a part of our curriculum, we do have an observership program where we go into the community and go into those community clinics where we observe the physicians that are currently working with Bahamian residents, and we learn the different disciplinaries with the content that we're learning in class based on each, semester. So we've been doing that, and I think that's a wonderful opportunity that WASM has for students.
Okay, so when we opened up, you had said that you are training compassionate and caring doctors, and I like that. And so with that being said, I guess making sure that they're involved in the community and participating in helping changes really who they are. We're putting out there doctors that aren't just focused on just doing that, but also offering that bedside manner, that compassion with the community. Now we're in this facility. We're gonna show a little later for you guys that are watching, some of this place. We had an opportunity to look, we had an opportunity to tour it, and it looks great. But, so this is phase 1 that we're in. So tell us, what does this phase 1 entail?
So phase 1, we have 3 classrooms here, classroom space, which also serves as study space as well. We have a clinical building called our simulation building, and that includes our simulated training and task trainers. So as you know, probably when you go to flight school, you have a flight simulator, and so it's similar here. We want them to have clinical task trainers and simulated learning environments. So we have that entire building, and of course we have administration, faculty offices, Office of Student Affairs, all of that. We do have a library area, but it's not the traditional stacks and stacks of books you would see because everything is online.
Right.
So that's wonderful because the students have all the resources 24/7. So they usually use that for study. Yeah, so and it's really what we say is it's fit for purpose. So we had input in how it looked, the feel, where things should be placed to make the optimal learning environment.
So you made it good for how you want to be here. You know what I love about here? I love the colors. I just walk in, I actually don't feel like I'm at a university. I feel like I'm at a resort or I'm at a nice lounge for the students. I'm sure when you're coming in every morning, it feels great, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
Yeah, it gives you a feel of I can relax. Part of me wants to kick up and like, where's the wrist? Let's play a game. But I know you had a question, but just before I get there, you mentioned simulation.
Oh, yeah.
You know, my mind is running. So flight simulation, you sit in the thing and you're probably on a flight and is there a body somewhere or something? You said simulation? Mm-hmm. So tell us, Amanda, what does that really mean? What is this simulation? Because my mind is going.
So we do have mannequins inside of our facility over there, and we use it actually every week. So every week we have sessions where we go in and we discuss with real patients or actually just the mannequins itself. And I hope you can get a little bit of preview of it, but we use it to simulate the cases that we would see in the clinic or in the hospital. So for example, like a seizure or epilepsy or maybe a stroke, those kind of simulations, we see that every week. And we learn on how we approach in diagnostics and treatment and how we would, be caring to our patients. So you're trying to
tell me your mannequin is going to move?
Absolutely. And it actually talks too.
And it talks too?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right,
so
okay.
I had an opportunity to actually walk about the facility.
Right.
Phenomenal. And I'm telling you, top notch, top tier. Listen, state-of-the-art equipment. So shout out to Ken. Hopefully he's watching. He, along with Mark as well, and shout out to him as well, they took us to the simulation room and actually did the demonstration. It was amazing. As a matter of fact, I think production has B-roll footage with Glendea saving a life. And actually she did it because when she did her CPR and the vitals came up in, she saved a life. So if you ever need help, make sure Glendea is nearby.
All right, Glendea, if you're watching, I'll think about it. Not quite sure. I have to see if you know what you're doing just yet.
Oh, she saved a life. She sure did.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about, this was phase one. Let's talk about what's the plans for phase two.
Yeah, so phase two, we're looking at a building that will mirror this one, and just to the east of us, so another probably 40,000 square feet with additional classrooms, additional study space. Students always want more study space.
Always want more space.
More space, more space. Maybe a little cafeteria or food area. And more clinical space. So just more space, and and so more students, more space.
Let's talk about this. You said you are Bahamian, and you are here, but you were abroad.
Yes.
All right, and how did you get here?
I always get asked that question. And I actually really love this question because it was a different path. So I actually was online with an advisor committee for medical schools, and it was actually an advisor at one of the U.S. medical schools that said, hey, do you know that WASM is a new medical school in the Bahamas? And I didn't even know, and I was Bahamian, but I reached out to my own mentor at that time, and she said, give it a try. And along with her and my mom, it encouraged me to sign up and register and apply to WASM.
And you haven't looked back since?
I haven't, absolutely not.
It's amazing that our Bahamian students do have that opportunity to, enjoy and learn at a facility right here in the city of Freeport. You simply can't beat that. That's amazing. So we still want to say thank you for bringing this to the city of Freeport.
Thank you.
We're very excited.
Okay.
So to what extent, Dr. Welke, do Bahamians have access to matriculation at this university?
Yeah, we would love every Bahamian who's interested in becoming a physician to apply. Just, you know, there's certain prerequisites and requirements, of course, with any degree program.
Right.
But we would love that. That's what we're here for, and that's, you know, we're planted here. We have the foundation and the ground.
Right,
So we hope to be here for ever,
a very long
time, and we would love to. We're trying really to get the word out, like you had said, you didn't even know. So just getting the word out that we are here, and that and getting young people interested.
So what does that process looks like for a Bahamian that really wants to attend this university?
I would say, and you could probably give your experience, but I would say everything is on our website at wasm.education. You can look at the admissions requirements and talk to, we are happy to talk to interested parties about our program and how they could apply and come here and be a part of. I think this is just an amazing place.
Right.
So.
Now, you're a little far from me. Usually I have a little hot seat question. You know, it's usually related to a couple of things, either food, some free stuff, or money. So I'm going to ask you, and then, of course, bounce it right over to Amanda. When we think medical school, we think pretty pricey. We think there's a cost. We know there's a cost associated. So, of course, as we're inviting Bahamians to come in, as well as other students, if we're unable to afford the cost that's attached to this education, are there scholarships available? And if they are, tell us about it and how can they attain them?
Excellent. Yes, get a big smile because we do. We have actually a scholarship dedicated specifically to Bahamian students. And that's just wonderful.
I don't just like you, I love you. Make sure I heard you correctly. You have a scholarship dedicated
just for Bahamians.
Just for Bahamians.
Just for Bahamians.
Okay, all right.
Just for Bahamians. So all of that information is online, and it's wonderful. There's different tiers to the scholarship, but again, that's all online. And I think it's fabulous. So, and with that scholarship, Bahamian students who are provided that scholarship must come and practice back in the Bahamas, in their home country, for a few years or so. And I think that brings that talent back. And I think most of our Bahamian students that have received the scholarship are excited for that they can come back and practice and give back to their home country. So
well, that's awesome, because I have what my daughter calls a DIT. She calls herself a doctor in training. She's a doctor in training, but she's just began her freshman year at UB. So once she's done, of course, this is an option, and we are very excited and looking forward to it.
Looking forward to opportunity.
Yeah,
the opportunity
so
is
this is very
here.
exciting information for
Now
me as well as a parent.
I hope you took advantage of that scholarship opportunity.
I did the best I
could. So tell us how easy it was or how hard it is, because we're not gonna play off as if like coming to medical school is easy. No, but tell us about that experience.
So the experience pretty much starts like your daughter before med school. So you have to have the prerequisites, like Dr. Welke said, and apply yourself. I was awarded the scholarship after my first semester, so I had to show my diligence and my commitment to medical school and also being a physician to show that I really want to be here and I really want to pursue this career. And with that, along with the requisites and meeting with the officials to receive the scholarship.
Okay, now, you know, people are watching and they're thinking about it. I know a lot of people may think, coming to a medical school, university in the Bahamas, is it really that hard? I mean, they're probably thinking you're spending time at the beach. I'm sure some of your friends are like, do you really work? Tell us about your experience being here, you know, with that.
So majority of my time is in the library. So everyone around will say that Amanda lives here, she lives on campus, she's always here. And it's really because it's the dedication that I put into it, and I use my breaks, like we just had a break over the weekend, to celebrate after our exam. So most of the time I'm studying here, but when we do have breaks, we can go to the beach or we can go for a cocktail if you want. But most of the time it's always dedicated to studying.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, so go ahead, Claudine.
So, as I said earlier, I had an opportunity to tour the facility, and I cannot stop ranting and raving about the quality education that physicians studying here at WASM are getting. Because if you see the rooms, Alex, I mean, it mirrors.
All I'm hearing is that you came here without me. That's really all I'm hearing.
It literally mirrors an exact hospital, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this
So
is
if I'm having
amazing.
an emergency, Dr. Welke, I could just stop here instead of heading straight down and said, hey, I need you.
So,
Oh, Amanda looked at me like, well, not quite yet.
not yet,
Not yet.
not yet. But they're certainly on the way, because the facility they have in place, the training that they have in place, is definitely preparing the next generation of physicians to offer a phenomenal and, I would say, safe service. I think we're in great hands with physicians or aspiring physicians coming out of Awesome. So we're very excited.
Okay. All right. So you've been here for a while. What has probably been the most exciting thing that you've learned here at WASM?
Well, I think the most exciting thing was just with Dr. Welke. So she just taught us the Brain and Behavior Unit, and we just finished our exam on Friday. And I think learning about the brain and the central nervous system has so much multitude of learning, and each day it's something new. So I think that's kind of like the biggest thing I've learned so far that I enjoy the most.
That almost sounds like I need to come in and study my brain. Yeah. Because it's always going a multiple times a minute. Okay. All right. Now, Dr. Welke, let's talk about this because, okay, we got her perspective as a student. I mean, you're here. We all know you're not originally from the Bahamas. You know what I mean? I'm just taking a wild guess, you know. What brought you here? I mean, I'm sure there's an opportunity that was presented to you and it said, am I going to go to the Bahamas and, you know, be leadership down there and teach these students? I mean, what made that decision easy for you?
Oh my goodness, yes. So I grew up in Minnesota. Okay, it's very cold. It's very cold. But I've actually been in the islands, I'll put it that way, 20 years now, since 2005.
In the islands.
I'm on my 20-year anniversary. So I've lived in Dominica, St. Kitts, Barbados, and I was always involved in international medical education. I had done my doctoral work in Boston, and then I sort of got into this international sphere because I think it provides such a great opportunity for educating physicians, which we have a shortage of. And so in 2019, it was just before COVID had come around. In 2019, I got a call from one of the founders and said, we want to start a new school that's fresh and innovative and has this modern, you know, educational methodology. And I remember talking to them and I thought, this sounds really cool. And he said, we want you on board. And I said, I'll never forget, I said, where are we going? And he said, Freeport, Grand Bahama. And I was like, I'll pack my bags. and this is a true story, and luckily I'm able to be nimble and flexible, and I think it was just really the opportunity to build something fresh. We've all been there, like if somebody gives you a blank slate, how exciting is that? And to have this beautiful facility and to be there from the beginning on how it should be designed and fit for purpose for student learning is incredible. And to offer these opportunities to not only Bahamian students, but US, Canadian, anyone worldwide. We'll take we welcome applications from anyone who's interested in becoming, coming here and being part of this journey. So I love the islands. I love what we're doing here. I've been living in Freeport for years now, and Alex, it's really growing on me.
Yes.
I really enjoy it here, so.
Okay. All right, well, we are going to be closing out this segment, and we want to, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. But Amanda, if I may ask, and if you can, speak to those that are listening, why choose WASM?
I think WASM, to begin with, has phenomenal professors that take the time out to personalize studying plans, helping us with our careers, and they show their passion with that. I think we have career services, we have academic success programs that allow us to be successful in the work field and as a person in itself. I think WASM, like Dr. Welke said, has everything that's needed for us to be really caring physicians, and I encourage any student that's interested in being a physician that they should take the opportunity to apply at WASM.
And come to the Bahamas.
Well, my daughter's a freshman, and I'm putting in her application now.
Right now. All right. Well, ladies, I want to thank you so much for sharing that information, for talking to our listeners and our viewers, letting them know how exciting it is to come number one, for Bahamians to come home.
Yes.
They can be home. Number two, for any international student that wants to come to the Bahamas, this is the place you'd want to come, you want to study. And thank you, of course, Dr. Welke. From a professional standpoint, letting the public know how wonderful it is for WASM to be here, the impact it's making on the community, and how much we're looking forward to growing this university here on Grand Bahama Island. I thank you so much for sharing this time with us, and we're going to have some more information from these guys. You're going to see some stuff. Now, Claudine, let's go back to this tour that you did without me. let me just talk about that right quick, just before I go to the break, and my producer tries to kill me right now. You came here.
Yes.
You walked around.
Sure did.
You went to the simulation room.
Absolutely.
You went to the library.
Yes.
You went to the lounge.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you get coffee too?
No, I didn't get coffee, but I got coffee this morning. But I love the facility. I was so blown away during our walkabout. I really was truly blown away because, in my opinion, I went to a university in America, and there's nothing compared to what I saw when I walked this campus. So I know if they have put in this much effort in building a facility of this magnitude right here in the city of Freeport, those that walk through these doors, I guarantee you they're going to be, just as Dr. Welke said, caring profession or physicians rather, because the training is readily and available for them. It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's right here. Well, you know, I'll tell you what, when Amanda was talking about putting your final thoughts of why they should come there, she talked about the refresher, you know. I knew she was just trying to butter up her, you know, Dr. Welke. She said the class to her. But guys, what we're going to do, we're going to have, our production team is going to run you a quick intro of the little trip that Claudine took here without me, I'll have you know. And we're going to go take a look in the simulation room, and you're going to go ahead and walk you through that. You're going to see some of the information that they would have shared and the experience they would have had here, and you'll get a sneak peek of this amazing facility that's right here in Grand Bahama, and we'll be right back right after this.
Somebody's an up-to-date trying to figure out what next should be done. There's a facilitator acting as a nurse, sometimes putting our weights. You know, it's a whole production meant to feel as real and as, you know, immersive as possible. Just go in, make sure you get enough. Go ahead, he's meant for that. Keep going, keep going. There you go. So, you go. Yeah, keep going.
Really?
He was coming back, he was coming back, he was coming back.
Listen, Mr. Dominican, you better come alive. Do something, wake up. Okay, harder. You both dead, I both dead.
Keep going.
Oh, no.
Leave him. Leave him. Push 2 rounds of epi.
I'm tired.
Now, there you go. Coming back.
Okay, I don't know if you saw what I saw, but if the man wasn't dead, I think Landia killed him. But you know, I don't know.
But shout out to her. She got his vitals stabilized, so he's got to live for another assimilation process.
Another simulation opportunity, another simulation. Yes. Okay, I'm trying to compose myself. I'm trying to bring myself together with that. All right, well, I see that you guys had a good time. Well, we know for a fact they're not going to be the doctors. Glendia and Claudine's not going to have it. You know, so guys, that was an opportunity for you to see what's going on here at WASM University. Like Claudine would have said, like Amanda and Dr. Welke, this is a first-class facility here in Grand Bahama, and it's available not only just for Bahamians, but for international students. And we invite all of you to share with your family and friends that Grand Bahama has a medical university that is brand new and is leading the way. And if I understand, you recently got your accreditation. Exactly. So listen, this is where you want to come. This is where you want to be. We're calling all Bahamians to come in. There are special scholarships just for you. I mean, what better place to do your medical training but in paradise, the Bahamas, and Grand Bahama in particular. So we want to thank you, of course, for welcoming us into your offices and your homes. We're going to take a quick break, and right after that, we'll be back with our business segment with our business owners. It's one of my favorite segments. We'll see if Claudine's going to jump on board and see if she enjoys it as much as I do. But we'll be right back right after this.
Welcome to Freeport, the reawakened, the reimagined, the rebirth, the Renaissance capital of the Bahamas. Over $1.5 billion in investments. Marinas, cruise ports, downtown revitalization, residential developments. We're putting the city on the map. Want to know more? Just log on. Your future is only a click away.
Grand Bahama, get ready. The Freeport Business Expo Tourism Edition is back. Bigger, better, and bolder. Join us May 1st and 2nd of 2025 at the Grand Lucayan Convention Center for 2 days of business, networking, innovation, and opportunity. Dive into the latest tourism trends, connect with top industry leaders, and put your brand in the spotlight. Mark your calendar for May 1st and 2nd, the Freeport Business Expo, where business meets tourism.
Welcome back to Focus Forward, Grand Bahama's best talk show. My name is Alex Thompson. I'm the promotions director at the Downtown Freeport Business Association, and I'm of course joined by my co-host, Claudine Pinter, the business retention officer at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Claudine, we had an informative top half.
Absolutely, certainly enjoyed it. A wealth of information for those persons interested in the medical space. So hopefully they take advantage of all that information. Go to the website. We're here live on location at Western Atlantic. And I'm telling you, that information is key.
Well, let me tell you what's key. Western Atlantic University School of Medicine has put over $20 million in this facility. That's what they've done. Number two, they have scholarships just for Bahamians. So hello, visit their website, get online, see where you qualify, and get in on this program. And three, they want you. They want you as a Bahamian. They want you as an international student. They want you in here. Like Claudine said, we are on location. It's a great facility. You need to have an opportunity to come here and tour. But this is my next favorite segment, the business segment.
Absolutely.
And we're talking to small businesses that runs this economy. And we have two persons that are newbies. It's the first time they've ever been on Focus Forward. It's not my fault. I want them to know it's not my fault. Not me. If it was me,
I'll take the blame.
I'd have like 5 and 6 people every time we have a show. We would just be running for 3-4 hours to invest Grand Bahama. You know, I'll spend all their money putting our guest on. But first, we want to welcome Dr. Terrell Omar Humes from Advanced Surgery Care and Weight Loss Center here in Grand Bahama. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, awesome. And we also would like to welcome Ms. Patrice Nairn from Premier Clinical Laboratory Limited.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Okay.
If we were in studio, we will say welcome to the round table, but we're not.
We're not.
At the square table.
Welcome, she said, welcome to the square table. All right. Well, Dr. Humes, let me start with you. You know, paying homage to my original host, Glendea, she likes context. She likes context. So tell us who you are, what you're about, and what is Advanced Surgery Care and Weight Loss Center?
Okay. I am a general and bariatric surgeon. I trained in University of West Indies for general surgery, and I went to India for a year to learn bariatric surgery. I came to Freeport just right before Dorian, like a week before Dorian. Worked at the hospital, and then I did my private work, but I just opened up Advanced Surgery Care and Weight Loss Center. Now, we offer general surgery and bariatric surgery to the Northern Bahamas, the whole Bahamas. General surgery, we do a lot of lumps and bumps, which includes skin cancers, lipomas, any kind of cysts.
I like the way you put that, lumps and bumps. Make it really easy for us to understand.
Lumps and bumps.
Lumps and bumps.
I do those in office, or I do them at the hospital or at a private facility. I also treat breast diseases. This includes benign and malignant breast diseases. Right? We have an epidemic of breast cancer in the world, And we have high rates of breast cancer in the Bahamas. So I treat those primarily, and I also refer to oncologists and my other known expert colleagues. I also do general intestinal surgery as well. That's gallbladder surgery, appendix surgeries, colon surgeries, removal of the colon, partial and complete. And at my office, I tend to just do referrals, and I tend to, those general surgeries, I either do them in my office or take them to the hospital or a private center. Now, with my weight loss, I do non-surgical and surgical weight loss.
Right up my alley.
Now, that includes the new GLP-1 analogs you all heard about, those Zempic, the Wegovy.
I was going to say, you have to break those words down for us.
That's the weight loss shot injection that you take once weekly, and you lose about 10–15% of your weight within a certain period of time.
Okay.
Also, I refer to the dietitian, physiotherapy, all for non-surgical weight loss.
Dr. Sheamus, is there two of you? Or three? Because I'm listening to you and I'm like, I'm trying to keep up. Like, you do all of this at your facility.
Well, we do the consultation.
Okay.
Being a surgeon, I need an operating room. There's no operating room at my facility.
Right.
So the only low-risk stuff I can do, and I do consultations.
Okay.
Right? Furthermore, with the bariatric surgery, weight loss surgery, I offer the sleeve gastrectomy and the bypass surgery, which we can do on island. Some of the patients I have to take to Nassau, but most of it we can do right here in Grand Bahama.
And that's just more, that's weight loss management.
That's weight loss, yes. So we just opened up our clinic about 2 years ago. I'm actually located at the Medical Pavilion.
So you're not downtown?
No,
no, not every business is
not everybody is downtown. All right, maybe I could open a satellite
office down there.
Hire some people to run it, and
there you go.
I'm trying to bring other people into Freeport to offer other services.
Okay.
All right.
Good stuff. We like the sound of that, right, Alex?
I like the sound of it.
Well, for the benefit, I know you said you offer bariatric and metabolic surgery, but for the benefit of those viewers that are watching and are not familiar quite exactly what that means, can you break it down a bit for us?
Okay. So.
And I'm those viewers.
Okay. So bariatric surgery, after the consultation starts right at the office, right? I actually decide, or we go over your history, I examine you, and then we determine if you are a candidate for weight loss surgery. Usually, international standards, BMI, that's your body mass index, about 40 makes you a candidate, and less if you have diabetes or hypertension, because these surgeries actually treat that as well. So the surgery I offer are the sleeve gastrectomy. That is when I remove half of your stomach. I turn your stomach into a tube. So when food goes down, it goes straight down. And it decreases your appetite and allows you to lose about 60–70% of your excess weight. Now, the bypass adds a metabolic part of it. It really treats your diabetes. You can lose up to 80% of your excess weight. And bariatric surgery has been proven to keep the weight off. Like how we have these diets and these stuff that as soon as you finish it, you gain the weight back.
Why are you talking our business? I know, right? I mean, like, really, why are you talking our business?
I certainly had that experience.
So these things allow you to keep the weight off. And after you've lost the weight, a lot of people complain of skin, extra skin. I can bring in a plastic surgeon to remove it as well.
Okay.
And these are all part of the consultation. We talk about all these things during the first visit. Yes.
At my first visit at the Advanced Surgery Care and Weight Loss Center. All right, that's with Dr. Terrell Omar Humes. Now we have another lady on the chair. I used to say, I was about to say the table, you know. And I like this whole theme. We're at Wasam University, and we're talking to One Claire Clinic, and we're going to go over here and talk to the Premier Clinical Laboratory, Miss Patrice Nairn. All right, our viewers don't know you.
Oh.
So you need to tell them who you are.
You do know us.
Tell us a little bit more about you.
Well, Premier Clinical Laboratory has been around for about 20 years. Our main location is in Nassau. And now we're here in Freeport at one of the doctor's offices, Lukine Family Care. And we have a setup there. And we are, and that's who we are.
That's who you are.
And we're in the business of offering professional, accurate laboratory services.
Okay, that's
convenient.
Awesome. All right.
Yes.
So you said you're
Fast turnaround time.
Sorry, you said you're based out of Nassau. So what made you expand your services to the city of Freeport? Granted, it's beautiful and all that, but from a business aspect, what made you choose
Well,
Freeport?
that part goes without saying, that it's beautiful and all that. Freeport is growing, it's a growing destination, and when we started the lab, Freeport was always a place that we wanted to to have a location as well. And so we saw the need, and we figured that we can add value to what's going on here in terms of laboratory services and care here in Freeport by just offering professional services.
You said professional.
Accurate. Fast turnaround time.
Fast turnaround.
Yeah,
All right,
all that good stuff.
You know, there's no shame in her game. She's without a doubt making sure that you understand and know exactly what her business is offering. I got a question for you. You're close to me. That's a hot seat.
Yes, go on.
Do you accept insurance?
Yes, we do. Well, right now, we accept the government insurance, which is NHI.
Wait, really?
We accept NHI
Okay.
insurance cards.
I like you now,
Holder.
too.
Yes, and all of the major private insurance cards, Bahama Health, Colina, Atlantic, and BAF, we accept those insurance cards as well.
I'm gonna come right at you, Dr. Humes. I need to know, do you accept insurance?
Oh, well, of course I do. Right? Especially with the the clientele we have, and especially the work I do, insurance is very much important.
Right.
All right, and I do accept all major insurances.
That's what we like to hear. You accept cash, but we also make sure we accept the insurance.
I think they're lobbying for my salary, especially Dr. Hill.
All right, now, this is a question I really want to ask both of you. Being in the laboratory, what are some of the illnesses that you see around the island that are on a rise?
Definitely diabetes.
Wow.
And for me, I would say sexually transmitted diseases are on the rise. I've been seeing those. Yeah, but all in all, I would say diabetes.
All in all, diabetes. So how do we, Dr. Humes, how do we combat that then?
Well, those are diabetes, hypertension, cardiac disease, your non-communicable chronic diseases. A healthy diet, exercise, all important. Going to church, right? Getting your sunshine, going to the beach, getting especially the right diet, fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, nuts, grains, decreasing your red meat, decreasing your fatty foods, decreasing the fast foods. Right?
You just stop eating that. You just want me to stop eating.
That's how you fight it. Decreasing the amount of stress, right? Those things. We live in a beautiful island. We don't use it as we should as Bahamians, right? But those are the kind of things I would say would decrease. Now, what also is on the rise is, I think, cancer, right? And we're seeing it in younger populations as well, right? So much that the recommendations has changed that at 45 you should get your first colonoscopy. Especially in our population.
At 45?
45.
Wow.
45.
That's pretty young.
That is pretty young.
I passed it. I guess I missed it.
Well, maybe you need to come see me. And we can talk.
Okay. All right. So if I might ask you, I mean, Claudine is the Business Retention Officer at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. So her job is to make sure that you guys stay open. But clearly, with what you're seeing on the rise here, that's not an issue. How was your experience opening up your business here in Grand Bahama?
How was the experience? The experience was welcoming. You mean in terms of the patients?
And getting the business here, the process of it, dealing with the Grand Bahama Port Authority, getting your location?
That was easy.
Great.
That was easy. We had no problems.
Awesome.
No stops.
Now see, that is so happy to hear, because guess what? I don't know if she remembers, but when I was in Customer Relations Department, that was one of my direct customers, so I issued her license. So it's a pleasure that your experience
and thank you for making it easy.
You're certainly welcome.
shameless plug that she's doing her job, making her boss knows that she's doing it. But we do, because what happens is, you know, Grand Bahama is the resilience capital of the Bahamas. We are on the move. We are growing, like you said. But we want to be able to be honest with our investors and other persons, you know, listening, because Focus Forward is the only show in the entire Bahamas that literally focus on the investments and the businesses that's going on in Grand Bahama. So we want to be able to share your experience, and they can hear it from you, the business owner, what that experience was like, dealing with the Port Authority, getting your license, finding a location. And of course, now that you're here, were you originally from Grand Bahama or you moved here from Nassau?
I am not here yet.
You're not here yet.
The business is here. She's not here.
The business is here.
The business is.
But you're coming to visit. You're realizing I need to settle in.
I do love Freeport. I love it.
You can say it again.
The traffic.
I love Freeport.
I like to hear that. I love to hear it. Now, Dr. Hims, I would ask you the same question as well. What made you decide to open up your business? Not what made you decide. How was your experiencing opening up your clinic? You said it's 2 years old.
So similar experience as Ms. Nairn. It was very easy, and you're very welcoming. And
we're welcoming.
It was too easy.
It was too easy.
No, it was
a simple
very
process.
Good experience.
It's a simple process. And
well, the Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau is an arm of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and their entire focus is to ensure that businesses are able to access any information, any of the process that they need to open up their business here. Now, we talked a little bit more about the illnesses, and we talked about some of the services that you offer with all of these chronic illnesses that you spoke about. How is your lab helping to combat this?
Well, we're helping in a way where we are offering services that would meet those conditions. People with diabetes, heart problems, people with thyroid issues, and just a lot of the illnesses that we face here in the Bahamas, we're able to offer services for those. And let's say the cancers where you would have the biopsies and the cytologies for people who would have cancers. We offer those services as well. We're able to facilitate the testing for those as well.
Okay, so Ms. Patrice, tell us, what are some of the tests that you run at your lab? I know you spoke about diabetes. That's all obviously a glucose testing. What if someone wanted to do a DNA?
Yes, we do DNA testing as well. And I must say that we're working with the government to offer DNA testing for those persons who want to prove whether they're related to a child who's seeking to get a passport and all that. We do that at our facility. And so we would do testing for diabetes. We'd do the glucose testing, the HbA1cs. For the thyroids, we'll do the TSH, the T4, or the TPOs, or we do things like that. For cancers, we do the prostate, PSAs, and CA125, and even people who are doing treatment, who are treating breast cancers, we do those as well, because from time to time the doctor needs to assess them to see whether their levels are going up or they're going down, to see where they are. So we do all of that, and we do all of these testings we do in-house. And we do so much more that other facilities, other labs around don't do. We do them in-house. Let's say your D-dimer, your PTH, your homocysteine levels, and stuff like that, your cortisol, your insulin, all those things. It's a whole lot more that we do that the other labs don't do. Because one of the things we seek to do is to be able to have a good turnaround time so that patients can have the best outcome and the best management possible that physicians can offer them.
All right, so tell us, where's your lab located?
Okay, presently we are in number 8 Horseshoe Drive here in Freeport. We're in Lucayan's concierge service, family concierge service. We're in that facility. And then our main location, which is in Nassau, which is on 121 Collins Avenue. And we're also in Abaco, and we're several locations in Nassau as well.
Well, look at you. Look at you.
And we service people who we don't have facilities in certain islands as well.
Oh,
so you'll go there?
Well, they would draw the samples and bring them to us.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So moving right over to Dr. Humes. Now, I know where you're located, but for the benefit of those persons viewing
I'm the viewers
that are interested in some of those services that you would have mentioned earlier, tell us where you're located. And in addition to that, are there any other services that you offer that you would like the public to know that we can find at Advanced Care?
Okay. So we are located at the Medical Pavilion. That's number 6 East Sunrise, right next to the Kentucky.
Oh.
Right?
I was saying, next to the chicken, right?
Yeah.
Just
we shouldn't
chicken.
eat.
Right next to
Right.
right next to that good smelling chicken.
Yeah. So yeah, my office, that's where I am located, in my office.
Okay.
So I also offer endoscopy as well, right? That's the upper endoscopy and colonoscopy.
I need you to tell me what that is. You break that down for me, Doc.
It is looking, it's a long tube attached to a camera to look into your stomach and the upper part of your small bowel, the intestine, and I look at your entire colon, right? That is a test that is both diagnostic and therapeutic. It actually fights cancer because it removes precancerous polyps.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's called a lower scope or colonoscopy.
Yeah. You talk about it like it's just, we do this every day. Like we flipping burgers. Just come in here and push a camera down you.
Well, it's a very safe procedure.
Okay.
Right? So when you say we do it every day, we do it every week. Okay. Right? Not every day, but it's
day.
quite a basically normal process. Right? We've streamlined everything.
Okay.
Right? And it's covered by insurance as well.
All right, awesome. So back to that topic that I am very much interested in.
Go ahead.
And that, of course,
give
is
you the free rein.
cosmetically in kind.
Go ahead, ask your question.
I know what you're going to ask. So I don't do cosmetic surgery, right? Even though part of my training was that, we have wonderful plastic surgeons in Nassau and cosmetic surgeons who would come down, I would set it up, and we can get it done either at the RAM or at Sunrise, another facility.
That's part of my question, but she had another, she had another question.
So basically what he's saying, he's the plug. So.
Yeah,
Oh, he's the plug.
basically. And that's all tummy tucks, the liposuction,
I told you
arm
he lobbied
tucks,
for my money.
BBLs, all those stuff, right? So I can set it up.
Okay.
Right?
He's your plug.
There you go.
He's your plug.
Got
All
it.
right. Dr. Humes, I'm going to ask you one final question. We're about to close out this segment. I know people are listening and they're wondering, is it something that we no longer have to consider traveling to the U.S. for, that all of these services that we think about, everything is available here?
Most things are available here,
Yes.
right? If I use the example of cancer, right? You can get your surgery and, to some extent, chemotherapy right here in Grand Bahama.
Okay.
The only thing that may not be available is radiation and some of these imaging, such as a PET CT, that helps stage your cancer. But most things are available right here on the island.
Well, that's what I like to hear. This is important. So one of the things that we try to make sure that our viewers and listeners understand is that not only do we have qualified physicians, but we have the facilities here. And look at home first before we go elsewhere. And I'm sure people would say to you, why open another clinic here? Why do another clinic? We have so many clinics. So just as your final thought, answer that question. Why open another clinic here?
Well, I'm the only general surgeon on the island.
Really?
Yeah. So opening a clinic almost was a no-brainer. Initially, I wasn't going to, right? But Dorian actually forced me, after Dorian, forced me into the opening of my office and everything because of what it did to the hospital. So people were coming to me, hey, I need somewhere to see you outside. So
He wanted to operate legally. So he decided to pursue.
Yes. So, like initially, I was hired by PHA, and I wasn't going to. So after Dorian and we had our issues, now the hospital is back.
Right.
But, you know, I also do both.
You do both.
Yeah.
So you serve the community, and you also take care of private clients as well.
Yes. Right.
Well, thank you so much. So, Dr. Terrell Omar Humes, we want to thank you from Advanced Surgery Care and Weight Loss Center, located in the Medical Pavilion.
Yes.
On East Sunrise Highway.
Yes.
All right, you guys can know where you can find him. And we also want to say thank you to Ms. Patrice Nairn of Premier Clinical Laboratory.
Thank you.
They do everything, but they do it accurately, professionally,
and conveniently.
And conveniently.
And fast turnaround time.
And faster and on time. So we've got that. Thank you so much. As your business grows and there's any changes or additions, please feel free, come back on the show and share the information with us.
Most definitely.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so
you.
much. Claudine, this was good.
It was.
It was a good show. So first of all, we're at Wassam Atlantic University School of Medicine, Western Atlantic University School of Medicine that we're here. We talked about them, but this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Absolutely.
Because we got some new shows coming up. I understand there's the expo coming up.
Yes, which I'm very excited about.
Well, tell us about the
for all
expo.
of those persons that have not yet registered, May 1st, May 2nd, Freeport Business Expo. To make it easy and simple, if you haven't registered, you want information, cpinder@gbpa.com. I will personally reach out to you, supply you with all of that relative information that you need to register. But as you would always say, in order to get that opportunity, you need to be in the room. So go ahead and register. We have a host of persons coming in from international. So if you're operating in that tourism space, you definitely want to be in that room. Business Expo, May 1st, May 2nd. It was so great last year. We had to make
longer
it 2
hours, exactly, so we're going to do that. Now, also, just before that, in April, what are we having in April? Tell the people.
We're having Art of Lucaya.
Art Lucaya at their new location, Mosaic, again, right on East Sunrise. You can't miss it. And there's new work coming out. There's students' art that's going to be there, so we want to make sure that you're there. Don't forget, all of the proceeds from the Art Lucaya weekend go to the art programs at all the participating high schools as well. And of course, we're just coming out of Fashion Week. We want to thank the Grand Bahama Port Authority for Fashion Week 2025. I'm still feeling a little fashion going on here.
I saw you on the red carpet looking all fabulous.
I was.
Alex.
I'm doing it.
I wasn't there, but I decided to wear my fashionable earrings today.
Do you know they're mismatched?
No, they're not. This is fashion.
Oh, that's what you call it?
Yes.
Oh, you bought it like that?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, she said, you know, you're wearing 2 different earrings?
2 different earrings. All right. So that's her fashion. Well, I was feeling a little fashion. I was channeling my host, Glendia. I miss you, darling. Got all the little fluffy little sleeves, all the pearls, all the earrings. We're doing it big. So we want to thank all the designers. We want to thank all the participants of Freeport Fashion Week. And of course, all of the proceeds from Freeport Fashion Week goes towards the sewing programs at these schools as well. So everything that the Grand Bahama Port Authority is sponsoring for these major events is not only helping the economy of Grand Bahama, but also the proceeds are going towards these schools to make sure that these kids have an opportunity to explore their talent. Then, of course, Sunday was Rip the Runway.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Listen, I thought that was a Grammy Award.
In case you didn't know. So we want you to stay tuned, not only to Focus Forward, but also to the Grand Bahama Port Authority website, so you can find out all of the events that we have going on. And I think that covers all that we've had going on coming up.
That's about it. Alex, we really had a great show.
It has been a great show. So remember, tune into our GBPA website. You'll find out when we're showing. We're on the radio. We're on different times in the channel. And of course, it's always a pleasure for inviting us into your homes and into your offices. My name is Alex Thompson.
I'm Claudine Pinder.
And we're informing you of all the positive things that happen when you focus forward.
Listening to Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. Like us on Facebook at Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau to stay updated.
And drop a business card at the Grand Bahama Port Authority receptionist desk to have your business featured on our show. Tune in next Thursday,
same time,
same place,
for Focus Forward.
This is the Caribbean, a region known for its stunning beauty and vibrant culture, but also for being among the most vulnerable to the impacts of a changing climate. 2024 is predicted to be a year of climate extremes, a hyperactive Atlantic hurricane season, and early onset of an intense heat season.
When you combine humidity and heat, that is where our bodies get stressed very easily. That is not just human bodies, that is also most living beings, whether it's crops that farmers grow, livestock, whether that is the environment. Heat is becoming dangerous.
The impacts of climate change and climate variability on the Caribbean are becoming increasingly severe.
Basically, the entire Caribbean will be in its wet season until early August. And during that time, whereas in the Eastern Caribbean, you get more a progressive increase in the shower activity. In a regular year, this year it might be faster, it might be more intense, it might be more explosive showers. What we're seeing is 23 to 29 storms over the year as a whole. But for the second half of the hurricane season, is going to be a little bit more active than we're used to, with double the amount of storms that we usually get between September and November.
By staying up to date about climate information specific to your country, we can prepare and protect our communities, our livelihoods, and the environment.
At Fort Charlotte, I'm Garnell James. This is ZNS.